And Switzerland is also good in producing medical and medicines. And Switzerland is also good in tourism. So the GDP of Switzerland is so high, the people there enjoy their good life. So Switzerland can be a good example for us if we rely on WTO to treat China as member of WTO only, not to sign ECFA with China. And we trade with China, and at the same time we trade with Japan, United States, and trade with Europe. Then we will become a strong country in the future. That's all from me. Thank you.
I think we have a couple minutes for the questions because the speaker has to catch up to his the high-speed train. So if you have any question, just take a chance. Yes. Steve?
The ECFA, so far I understand, is it's not an economic or international trade issue. It's more like a political issue. Because in the 1999, when we about to join WTO, at that time in the automobile industry, they're talking about if we're going to compete internationally, the automobile made locally has to reduce cost about $1,500 US. That's the situation about 10 years ago. And we actually, the company like Ford or Toyota Motors actually made that kind of landmark. So I think the problem is how are we going to be competitive internationally enough? Because the ECFA, when they sign it, the impact is going to be very different to different kind of industry. But if your market is 100% locally, then you probably have bigger trouble. And Taiwan, because it's an island country, over the past, let's say, 50 years, we're mainly more export-oriented. So my concern is, as an opposition party in the Congress, we have what kind of measure we have, because all these things have to be, as I understand, should be passed in the Congress. What kind of prevention course we're going to have? Because in the like Indonesia, the Asian country, this year they're going to have 95% is zero tariff. But the last November when I was in Indonesia, I saw the local newspaper. The vice minister of the industry, they strongly opposed. They think even in Indonesia they have about 34 industries, about 430 something items. Cannot compete with China itself.
Yes, you're right. Indonesia now is trying to rewrite the free trade agreement with China now, because now they have already discovered if they import so many products from China, the industry of Indonesia will be destroyed. This kind of situation will happen in Taiwan too. Just as you say, Taiwan is an export-oriented country, and we rely on international trade so much. But nowadays, we have already export 40% of products to China, and we rely on China. It's already so severe now. If we sign ECFA, this kind of reliance will become even more severe. And how to cope with this kind of international trade difficulty? I am not a member of DPP. I am not a member of opposition party, so I have no right to say for them. But as a scholar, I think try to have more patent and have more know-how and have to establish your brand name and to invent, to create more patent right, to have more copyright is the only way for us. Because now, if we just focus on how to reduce the production cost, what you can reduce is just a little you can reduce. But if you can increase the product's value, then the product can be so expensive. You see, Baijinbao one is so expensive, right? So we can do toward that directions. And now Taiwan is a WTO member, so the the custom tariff with the rest of Latin member is 6%. It's 6%. So in China, if we compete with Indonesian enterprises, they can export freely into China. That is true, zero tax. And we export into China, we have to pay about 6% tariff. But our quality, our product's quality is much, much better. I think this kind of quality and brand name will conquer that kind of 6% tariff differences. Not to mention, in Chinese market, our major competitor is Japan and Korea. It's Japan and Korea, not South Indian, not ASEAN countries. And in ASEAN, this market, we do have a disadvantage. There is Chinese producer, they can export freely into ASEAN, and we have to pay 6% custom tariff. But actually, we can rely on IP to conquer this difficulty. And if some company, they really have no invention ability, and they have to invest in other countries, then we can encourage them to establish their plant in Vietnam, because Vietnam is a member of ASEAN, and ASEAN now is a free trade market with China. So if we encourage our Taiwanese company who has no IP rights, they go to invest in Vietnam, they can export northly to China, southerly to ASEAN countries. So to invest in Vietnam is a good way for this kind of traditional industry. That is my way of thinking. Thank you.
I think we have the very short time for the small questions. Unfortunately, I have to reserve it for our guests. Vincent, please.
Yes. Dr. Jonathan, may I say just only a few seconds. First, for your English, you just say for my English, 1911. Before the 1911, no China is English. The China only is after the 1912.
Yes.
The before the 1911 is Qing dynasty. So it's the Qing dynasty fired with the Japanese empire.
Yes.
So not China. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
So
last time the Taiwan belonged to Japan.
I know.
So the difference is not the Chinese, not the
My
Chinese.
English article.
This is a Kuomintang history. We study the Kuomintang history, not a really English.
Because my speech time is limited, so I cannot have 4 explanations. But in my English article, you can find this argument, which you will like. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
梦想就要实现，阳光已经开。